be hot. You know, this, I think we need to flip this light on over here. It's a little dark over there. Should be live. Hopefully the audio isn't as bad as last night. We'll get this thing going. See if folks can see and hear us, and then I'm going to get right into this build. And let's make sure everybody can hear me fine. Live streaming. All right. Go through and start putting some of this stuff over. Morning, folks. For the early folks that are on, this is usually a weird live stream. Usually I'm not up this early. Got the coffee in a normal cup. And we are going to build Wifey's computer. We're going to take down the system from last night. We're going to use this again. I try to put the description of what we're building today. We'll use this. 1060s can go over here. And we're going to get this guy down. Yeah, we'll be using the little camera. It should be enabled right now, but we'll use.
You're gonna put that on the floor.
Yeah, no, we're gonna set that guy right here. Get the awesome close shot. What? There we go. Get some of that cleaned up. Is the Windows install that we're going to use. This wonderful thing. This case is cool. You know, we're going to actually pull this. This is the card that I'm going to put in the computer. So we're going to pull this guy out. I'm ultimately going to put 2 of these in there. They did not have another one of these though yesterday when I was out at Micro Center. May try to see if they get one in on their next truck, and we'll put a second one in this computer. 2 of the 1080 Ti's. And then we're gonna just put this guy down here. I'll be kicking it all day probably. And then this is the machine we're gonna be building. Which is the Crystal series of the Corsair. It's all see-through, all the sides. It's all kind of like plexi all the way around it. So I wanted to have a really nice build that had RGB set up throughout it all. And then we're going to get these little screw tabs off. And get into this build. We do have Miss BBT over there watching the chat. So if we get anybody super chatting or something like that, I will get to those. I'm gonna try to keep on point though with. This is actually not plexi. This is glass. Yeah, that's glass. This is legit. I did not know that that was glass. And I had all those screw tabs off and just let it sit there. That was a little dangerous of me. I would not recommend doing that. I'll pull the longer screws there for the top in this build. I'm just getting to this because we're going to be doing some mounting of a few different things. So yeah, all these are pieces of glass. That's good to know. That's just annoying stuff. So, all right. So we're gonna get. I guess I'll just take this piece off too, because I'm gonna need to get back to the back. It's got all the buttons and stuff on top, right up here. Buttons, a few USB 3.0. Should have the 3.0 connector on there too that goes under the board. I'll show the stuff that we're going through here. Figure you guys are just hanging out, building your rigs or whatever. You guys could just put us on in the background. Try to answer some questions if people are asking there. Are the RX 588 gigs worth $370? $370 is about $100 more than retail. So the regular retail price was roughly $269 for like the premium cards, and it was like $250s before. So is it worth it? I mean, not. It's kind of the only thing you can do. I mean, unless you can get a good deal at like one of the stores that resupply them. That's essentially what the not even the resellers. It's what even the production, like a Micro Center and stuff's charging for them now. So this is what this came with. Some looks like some tie downs and some zip ties. Motherboard screws, fan screws, and little guys, which I'm assuming is going to be for hard drives, like the SSD. Like if you're using a normal SSD, which we're not going to in this build, these longer ones should be for a fan or a like if you're doing a water cooler kind of setup, or if the nothing else is countersunk. So. And then some tie wraps. So these are Corsair labeled tie wrap. And one little tower strut. So I don't see a little, that'll come with the board. What I was looking for was the M2 screw, but that actually I think comes with the actual board here. So I'm going to put these somewhere where they're not going to fall. Put this guy back here. I do not trust myself moving things around, and I do not want to break these. Lay it flat. I am impressed that they made this not plexi. I was assuming when I looked at this was plexi, and I was okay with that.
And that you got it all the way home without breaking it?
Yeah, it was just hilarious because I actually put it, I have a truck, I have an F-150, a new F-150 truck, and I put this in the back and it was standing up. And actually it fell over in the back of my truck when I was driving. So like if you guys buy this and you take it from Micro Center, this is a glass case. So I did not do the research on it. I just said, oh, it's cool, it's clear. Yeah, so learn from me on that one, that I got lucked out on that. Let's see here. So we're gonna move these over to the side. These are the tall screws for the top. Graphics card will be way later. Get this out of the way, and I'm gonna set this guy down here. Pull this over. All right, let's just get this stuff out of the way. So H100, our H80i Intel Core Series SSD, or the NVMe drive, memory. I don't know why I got a cool little RGB fan. I think that was going to be the replacement fan for the water cooler. And then the Asus Prime X299A, which we'll kind of set this one over to the side and kind of pull this up. You guys can kind of see that as I pull that out. What this one is. So a little different design than the other 270s, or the other, you know, if you could probably see that in the little camera here. But this heatsink. So these boards, supposedly, I've done a little bit of research on them. So I've heard that these things were overheating, and I mean, looking at the, I don't know if we can switch that to the smaller camera. The thanks, Miss BBT. I'm not ordering you. The we'll switch this to the other view here. Nope, not that one.
Hold on, you got all these things.
There you go. So you could see here, this is not just plastic. This is actually aluminum, and this is a heavy duty. This thing is heavy, very heavy, and it's all because of this. So the chipset there obviously catches a lot of heat. We're gonna see how much heat it actually does, and this part's a little taller too than the other boards, and it's got the backplate for the 2066 chipset right here. So 3, 4, 5, 6. This has got the 6. So these are the 1X slots, and it looks like it has some 4X slots on there too. So that's a little different build. So you got your 16X slots, your 1X slots, and your 4X slots. So getting ready for some more higher, you can switch that back now. Well, you know what, let's go back and I'll just show real quick on these things, and that way I don't have to keep going back and forth between them. So our other item here is the 960. This is not the Pro. I have the Pro in our render box, and it's stupid fast, but this, I mean, what do you say you do most of the time? Just Facebook and... She's not going to answer that. So, yeah, this is going to be like the fastest Facebook, surfing, Reddit, YouTube computer on the planet, probably.
Does it show who sold that? Giving them some props?
Yeah, some Micro Center dude got hooked up on this. So, this is not the Pro, and it's a lot cheaper. The Corsair fan thing that we're going to put in there. Which is RGB. This is the G.Skill, you know, RGB memory, so I wanted that to kind of light up. This is a 16 gig kit. I was going to get the 32, and I was like, she doesn't need 30. There's no reason for that. So, and then we're doing the 7800X. The only other one I could have bought was the 7900X. That's one that we'll get for probably the render box whenever the 7900 comes out, and we could probably switch back because I don't think they want to see that. What?
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm a big guy, but I'm actually still kind of built, so.
Yeah.
Miss BBT knows.
Right.
Yeah, right. So this build for her stuff is fine, but I do want to do the Threadripper versus the 7900X. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that in mining style and BBT. So. Some people are like, hey, finally a live stream I can hit. Well, yeah, so unfortunately I'm not building a rig. I mean, we will circumstantially mine with this, but this is just the wifey computer. I was going to do this anyways, and we were just talking about, just like, if I'm going to do it, let's just go ahead and live stream it. So, to get to this where I can get this thing done.
Well, someday when real life doesn't get in the way,
yeah,
we can have live streams at...
Yeah, regular times, not 10 o'clock at night. Anybody that has... kids and family and stuff understand that you got to get that stuff comes first, and you got to take care of that stuff first. So, and then this stuff, as much as I love you guys out there, trying to get through, oh look at that, 5-year, trying to get through to that 5-year warranty.
Can you point your little camera down more?
Down more.
You're right at the light bulb.
There?
Oh.
That better?
Not really.
Here,
Oh, that's worse. Because you're in this light.
Oh. Got it. There we go.
Keep your head in the way.
Just keep my head, well, I don't. they can see it?
No, I meant in front of the light bulb.
Oh, okay. I don't know if the angle is right. So, yeah, 5-year warranty on this board. That's telling me something. That's telling me that if this thing's going to run hot a lot, I don't know if they have a lot of confidence on the piece here. But for folks wanting to see the kind of layout of that board, you can freeze frame that. I can't see the thing, but it looks like here. So it looks like chip, memory banks on both sides. So this thing can take some serious memory. Man, would that be 128 gigs of RAM? Is that what this thing maxes at? Let's look here. 128 gigs of RAM. That's what this thing can support. So 16 gig sticks on all across the board here. So you got 2 banks there. You obviously your prime PCIe, your 4X slots, Intel X299, that's there, the TPU. And where's the M2 slot on this thing? Is it under the chipset? Oh my god, I gotta take the actual heatsink off. That's gonna be cool. So we're gonna set this guy here as I do that, because to get the M2 stuff on, is that okay?
Yeah.
So to get to the M2, it's underneath this. It's right here. So you actually have to take this heatsink off. I wonder, you know, if I pull this off, guys, we might pull some Arctic Silver and do that proper. I'm gonna look and see. Well, we'll see if they got a heat pad under there, if it's whatever, but I'm gonna need a much smaller screwdriver than that. So
They said you're being super sneaky and sly, using me as an excuse to test an X299.
yeah, so wife needed a new computer. Why not go with one of the best? Well, I don't know if it's the best. We'll find out if it's the best. I was actually going to get her a Ryzen 1700X, and
they said that earlier. Why not a Ryzen?
So it was actually in the cart, and the guys at Micro Center that follow us can sit there and tell, is that going to be, yeah, that's fine. It was in the cart. We were going to do a 1700X. It was done, and then they did a good upsell job and was like, hey, what about the new, we have the new series here. You want to try one of those since you're going to do a build? And since we do a lot of different builds anyways, I'm bringing stuff with me. There's no cards in those. So.
Luckily those are empty.
Yeah, luckily those are empty. So I need a smaller. That's like too small. Try to get these little kits. I'll link these little kits, man. These things are like a couple bucks and they're worth their weight in gold when you really need something small. If you put all the parts back, which it looks like I didn't on this one, and that's probably going to be too big for that. Let's just see if I can gorilla this. Nope, it's on there pretty good. So we're going to go lowest torque setting on this. Alright, we're going to take this slowly. Oh, those are pretty big. Shush. Shush. So we're going to go in here and do... Nope.
They said you need an iFixit kit.
I don't know. I would say link it, but your links would get killed.
You could iFixit kit.
I don't know. You can bring it up on the other screen. Only problem with using one of these big drills is like if you accidentally go forward with it, you're gonna scratch the crap out of it.
Oh.
So this is just it's a subplate that does not. Oh, look at well, you looky there. Oh, so they have thermal. They do have a pre-thermal thing here. So if you do put an M2 drive there, and there's the TPU right there. You guys see that there? And there's the M2 slot. It's got the little rubber thing there. So they actually don't have you remove which is good. I could not believe that they were going to make me do that, because I mean the factory seal on that, you really don't want to remove that. So it's just a wing plate. It kind of sets off at an angle there.
It's kind of like your yellow box, and I fix it.
Oh yeah, I kind of got a box like that. This guy here. So that's from. This is the DeWalt Titan thing. Not that it matters. It does not matter. Like name brand for that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a freaking screwdriver, right? So it doesn't matter if that's DeWalt. You're just buying into the brand at that point. Power tools, though. I mean, some power tools we don't want some quality. Okay, so we got that off. We're gonna go ahead and put that. I like putting some of this stuff on before I put it in, guys. Just that way I don't have to mess with it when it's in the case. You know, I am not the smallest guy in the world. So we're gonna open up this stuff here. Rip PC parts. A fucking drill. Yay. So you can use a drill as long as you're not on the highest torque setting. Go slow with it, set it all the way down. Rip PC parts. I like it. So there is the Evo, the 1060. That's a little guy. NVMe. So is this still in a good angle that they can see what I'm doing here? Yeah. It looks like it. So you just put that guy down, and then this thing has a pressure setting here. Now this thing should come with.
They're saying, where are you putting this rig? It's going on my table. Yeah,
it's going on Miss BBT. This is going to be Miss BBT's internet machine that is going to be out of this world. And yes, of course, it will do mining also. I think Barnacle just went live too. We're competing. He will win. That's funny. I just saw a notice that Barnacle went live. Somebody can go into his chat and be like, "Hey, I'm building a PC too." So I don't know what he's doing today. Let's see here. Okay, so we got all that. This should have come with a smaller little screw set here, and it did not come with this. I did not see it with the motherboard screws, unless it's this little guy here. They usually come in one of these little packs with the motherboard. So that is for the actual connectors for the board. These are my teeth, not good. Let's see here. There they are. These little guys.
It's loud mining while I work. Have you seen this basement? I think it's loud mining all the time.
Oh yeah. I don't know what this little guy is. Well, this is some kind of cool little. Yeah, no idea. I'm gonna have to look at the. Hey, looking at the instructions is perfectly okay, guys. You are not a man if you can just do it without looking at it. You're an idiot. And I learned that pretty quick by messing up things a lot. So that's what they're there for. I just want to see what that one little adapter is. Yeah, got all that, got all that, got all that. Give me the weird thing. What's the weird thing? There we go. Aha! So this connects to the board, and this is for the. It looks like the Wi-Fi. This board has Wi-Fi. No, that's M2. What the hell? Is there another M2 slot in this thing? Oh, there is. So it isn't that. I wonder which one's primary. So right back here, guys, they have it to where you can have the M2 go right here. It only goes in one way, like that. And then this little anchor thing, yeah, it's got to go this way. It goes around the slot, down you go. And then it kind of locks in something like this. Looks like it's pressure set. So then, yeah, what? I don't know. Which one do I want to do? So I need to make sure that this is not like a primary, secondary BS where it makes you put it there first before.
They asked me if all the fans bother me, and I said after all this time the fans are just white noise. And they said you shouldn't call your husband white noise.
That's it's probably a true statement here. 3D mount. The 3D mounted part can be to show the illustration. Okay. Yeah, no. So I'm just trying to make sure, guys, that this is. If this is the one, so they do give me an OR, so that's a good thing. So what I was looking at is if you think about the Z270 boards that we use, there's an M2 slot here for the mining, and then there's one over on the other side of the board, and it wants everything in the first slot first. And I'm making sure that this I did not need it in here, and I could actually put it here because I'd rather have it here. I do not want this thing kind of hanging up here, even with that little adapter. I just don't like it there. So it might be a little cool, you know, like. This thing gets warm, it might be a little cooler there, but there is a heat pad that goes on top of this and makes it part of the thing. We'll try them both if this doesn't seem to work right. So I'm going to put it there. It does give me the option or again, that's why you consult your instructions. This little piece will probably go into some rig or something sometime. Maybe we'll find some use for that. And then we're going to get, here's the little M2 adapter drives. And we are not going to use the drill for this, so don't freak out. We're going to use this adapter though. And this one has man, you got to really push that down. Do not like the way that bends that chipset. Just needs to hold it there. Now let's see if this, I just want to see if it sits there fine. Okay, it does. So then we're gonna peel this guy back, not the whole thing. Gooey. That's just a thermal pad, guys. It's not like glue. Well, who knows over time if as it like calcifies or something. Line that back up. And where are those little parts at? This is, I usually get balled up here. Little screws have gone missing. I put them in. Let's start removing things that are not relevant. Put those in the boxes. Here. Here. All right, now.
Say hi to Jason. He's watching from home.
Jason's watching from home. Jason, our audio in the yesterday's video was totally jacked. There are the little screws, but we fixed it. We figured it out. So let's freak some more people out as we use a drill to screw down these little tiny screws. Actually, yeah, that's okay. Now this side, you have to just, the torque on this is going to be crazy. I'm just setting it, and then I'm going to hand do it when it gets all the way in there. Maybe. This is why they made us play Operation when we grew up. And all you millennials that haven't played Operation, you guys are... Okay, I'm just getting them barely set in there, and then I'm going to hand torque the rest of it down. This is more just to allow me to go... I feel a lot more comfortable using a drill because you use a drill a lot on a lot of things. I would not recommend it.
So I just got it set, and then I'm going to hand do these ones down the rest of the way. Just because I didn't want to do all those, you know, spin that with my hand the whole time.
As you're doing that, someone was asking, you said you put your fans on your GPUs at 25% max because you don't want to burn them out.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you keep your...
Rig cool?
Yes.
Use an external fan. We literally will, in the big view, I'm going to show you guys, like, you can do it a couple different ways. You can hang...
Just show 'em behind you.
Huh? Yeah, there's a rig behind, so...
Just show them what you do with it.
Yeah, so most of the time I will take one of these big box fans and you can put them above it, you can hang them above it, right here, right there. Put a box fan there. If you need to temporarily set it down on it, it does not affect the GPUs anyway. But the problem is that if you have them set down on it like that for a long time, you're going to collect all kinds of dust. Like you're going to have to dust them every week. But they don't need to be on high. And if you kind of set up a, you know, like if you have one of those racks, like you get those cheap metal racks, you just put this on the top rack and just let it blow down on top of it. You know, so it's laying placed down on the rack. You got the rig right below it. And you put one of these on low. These things right here will use about 35 to 40 watts on low. And they're cheap, 15, 18 bucks. And that on low will automatically make your GPUs go to like 27% because there's so much air going down onto the top of those GPUs that it just, you don't need them on high. The old 290s and 390Xs, I used to have to run on like a medium to high because they would get so much warmer. The newer GPUs, they don't need that. They don't need that level of heat, or that level of heat dispersion from the thing. Okay, so that's all done. M2's in there. And then let's go ahead and just put the memory in. I like putting the memory in the, well, the CPU we're not going to be able to because we're going to be using, I can put the CPU in, but I can't put the cooler on until we start doing that. But I like getting this stuff in there first. Memory is kind of a 50-50 depending what kind of case you're using, because sometimes you need to get it in there and get things ran before you put the memory in, because then now you're bumping up against another thing in there. But it really just comes down to the case. This case is big enough to where you use different things. I usually have a knife around here. Get that open. The Trident RGB looks cool. And we're going to reconsult the manual again because sometimes different boards want different things here. 4-core install, dims to, okay, so they have a whole other, oh, tell me this isn't where they want 4 memory sticks at a time. That's going to suck us so. I mean, we can still build it with it, but this might be like some of the older chipset series is where it wants you to put 4, it wants you to fill a bank up.
Do you know that they sell microfiber box fan filters to put over your fan to keep the dust from blowing in?
Nope. Thank you for that discovery. I did not know that. We might save that one as a favorite and put that out there for folks. Who gave us the awesome idea there?
Someone just asked where we get our box fans, so I was looking up a link and I just stumbled across it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay, sweet. Mrs BBT on the win. All right, so recommended memory configurations. Again, this is why you consult the manual. We've all built PCs. We all think we're smart, but they change stuff. So it's good to look and see where the recommended piece here. So this is, you kind of read these based on down here. I don't know if you can switch to the bigger view here. I want to show them the. So on like this particular board, let me see if I can get to. Right down here, they have the DIMM slots, and you probably can't see that's pretty low, or pretty small. So it's C2, C1, D2, D1, D2. The B1, B2, A1, A2. So it goes from B1, B2, A1, A2, and then C this way. And then they give you some kind of thing here that says, for Intel Core X series processors, 4-core, install the DIMMs to channel C and D for dual channel configurations. So that's just the 4-core. Now this one that we have here is an actual 6-core with 6 virtual. So we're going to look at the board manual here again and see for that configuration it's recommending something else. So for 6-core and above, you may vary the memory sizes in A and B and C and D. But this system, the total system size, lowered size channel for the quad configuration. So we're going to do this. Let's see here. We're going to do an A because we have more than 4 cores. So we're going to just do A1. Or here, it's recommending here these little stars if you're wanting the dual channel configuration. So right there, where the star, so B1 and A1 is where it wants it. So the gray ones, and it shows there the number 1. So if you're in 4-core, you're using this side. If you're using more than 4-core, you're using this side. So we are going here on the gray slots. RAM only goes in one way. We're going there, and you can probably go larger screen now unless they want to see RAM installed. There. Now those are in. Yeah, I got like, yeah. We're gonna be doing the chip actually, so sorry. We can probably go back there. So let's get here. You want to? Yeah, there. Is that light? Just here. You know what? I'm gonna. Since we're over here, it's kind of dark right there, right? Is it dark on that?
It's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure we got good light. And that's because I'm in the shadow of the rig or the machine, the computer. So this has the 2 swing bars, kind of like I think the other large chipset. 2011 had the same kind of setup. So these do not come with coolers.
When you use your box fans, what is your average GPU temps, and how does that affect the temperature of the room?
62. It really distributes the heat. Let's just say that. But I usually drop the GPUs usually drop to around 62. Some will stay at close to 70, just depending which GPU it is. But this is a huge processor.
They said you put it in the wrong one.
Huh? I put the memory in the wrong one? Oh, I did. This is why I'm building with you guys. Here. Release the Kraken. There you go. Okay. I did put it in the wrong one. I got distracted and started talking. Good on the internet. All right. So, this guy here. I don't know if you can see that there. The guy is huge. Look at the bottom of that thing. Like what? Looks like a flag. Doesn't that look like a flag? Looks like a flag. It's the 4th of July.
It's 4th of July and Canada Day.
And Canada Day. Hey! Hey, Canada Day, eh? I imagine Canadians hate that when like Americans say A.
What did they say about
266. Now we don't want to bend any of the little things down there. The ball bearing pins. Pop that out. And this guy only goes in one way. So we can show you guys, I believe it's something like that. That corner tab.
How many GPUs could you get on this motherboard?
Goes right here, this way. On this motherboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a six GPU board. So if we look here on the bottom of this, you can see the different setup they have, where some of them are just like 45 degrees, and then you have this one over here that's not a 45 degree. So just looking down there, this is the way it looks to go. It has to go in the right way. Make sure you're putting it in the right way. They don't like it when you put it in the wrong way. Wait, what? Behave, it's early.
Kids in the room.
Kids in the room. All right, so we're gonna bring this down. These kind of go down at the same time. Under there. Maybe under there. I think this thing, bing, this thing did not like, it did not allow the other thing to spin around. And this kicked the processor sideways. Not good. All right, let's try this one more time. Get this down. We're gonna do this one first, then this one down. And that's the way it tells you to do it. So this one down first. So if you're looking back towards the second memory bank, and we're good. Little tension there. All right. So these things have plastic. These do have plastic on them. Nice. We'll pull that off once we're done with the install. So we'll put this back in. And now I'm going to start to disassemble. Before I put this in, I want to make sure that there shouldn't be anything with this plate, because everything should screw into this. So I think actually we should be fine. We'll go ahead and put this in. Usually what I was doing is making sure sometimes you have a different bracket when you use like a water pool setup. And it requires you to kind of take that bracket off, but this one looks pretty permanently in there. And I mean, you can take it off, but that's a special connection to pull off there. So we're going to flip this around. Get this kind of centered here. And we'll get these out of the way. Make sure the light is set up the right way now on this. Down. Cool. Power LEDs. Just really need this stuff out of the way. And we can figure that out a little bit. We need to get the board down in there. The other back slot is this guy. There's a dentist out there watching. He's like, "Don't use your teeth." All right, so we can see that kind of USB flashback. Just a button there that'll allow you to restore the BIOS for the board. It's like USB 3.0 or USB-C. Yeah, there's another small C type, and then the audio. Is that camera pointed right where it can see this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. The power button on the actual board. And we're just gonna set this. This already had the tower screws, and it has a set screw, which is really what you're trying to get it into. Is making sure everything's lined up, and then when you got it lined up right, it'll set down into that set screw, which is right here in the middle. So it's just a little thing that kind of holds everything in place, so that way it's all lined up with the right kind of screw set. Now I will use, because of how big that drill is, I'm going to use a screwdriver. I was looking for one that we had around here. Oh, there it is. Oh, to the right. There we go. I'm going to use a regular screwdriver. Again, not freaking people out. I usually don't try to use the screwdrivers for the drill when I'm putting in the motherboard in there. I've snapped heads off because you do want to get a good set on that. That one, yeah, those are the. And they have a couple different types here. We're gonna go through and get these screwed down. You know, the people that do things in order, like start in the left corner and stuff, I'm probably driving nuts. I try to kind of do it like a changing a tire.
Is there a back motherboard backplate?
Yeah, I already put the backplate on.
They missed it. They wanted to make sure you didn't forget.
Yeah, I just put the backplate on. We could you can maybe go down to here and they can see what they can't really see down there. So I kind of go here, 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 and then over here. I put it on like a car tire. I don't know. It just sometimes I put all one side on and then it shifts it over, and then these ones end up being a pain. So just have it. This one's really close to this plate right here, which is weird. You know, it's usually fun and interesting seeing how other people put together computers, because you can do it so many different ways. Say do what you've done and what's right for you. Anybody else out there put one of these together? Put any of the X299 boards together yet? Alright, we're gonna take that sticker off because I just don't like the sticker there. This thing seems empty without, you know, this is why manufacturers do this. Is because you feel like you're empty even when you have 16 gigs of RAM, so they want you to try to fill it out.
Where do you find gray matter cases?
Gray Matter had them listed, but I think they're sold out. I haven't looked in a while. We had an order. Our last order was like for 50, and I think that about cleared them out. They had some. I'm making sure I don't have any other things I need to do here. I'm going to do the, I usually get that in there, and then I get this in next, and then I get to the power supply and then start routing cables. We don't have to run an SSD because it's already on there. So we're going to open up this guy next. We're going to switch the camera view, and got a call. Shut that down live. Let's get the view. Swap the view. BBT had to take care of the kid stuff. Switch the views. Set this down.
That's why you need that button thing over there.
Yeah. This opened up. This thing's grabbing screws. It's got a magnetic tip. H100i. I really wanted to go. I usually go the H115, which is bigger. It's got the bigger. I think it's 144 millimeter, 140 millimeter fans, and we could have put it on the top here. It's just I was looking to see if the 80 will work, but you know, after doing a little more research now, I'm kind of on the fence if this is going to be cool enough. This box owns me. Where's the? There it is. No, that's not it. I can't get into it.
Where's your chip?
Where's the end? Does it come on this side? Yeah, it's on this side. That's hilarious. That box owned me. All right, and I got the wife laughing at me. This people on the internet's gonna laugh at me. All right, so let's get this guy out. You know, I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, do your own closed loop and stuff." Dude, I'm not Jay's 2 cents. I will build you a sick mining rig. I do not build like closed loops and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of other things we spend the money on. Again, none of this stuff is given to us, guys. I buy all of this stuff. Like pretty much everything on BBT that you see is coming out of BBT Carter's budget. So, and then you guys, giving us super chat stuff and, contributing for if we've helped you out, and, we try to make all this information free. We just get the contributions that you guys do. We just put that right back into the equipment. Like we got all the stream, we got camera set up, it's 4K. We, had some graphics works done. Just trying to make the channel more, have higher quality, everything. We're going to be taking some of those latest Super Chat stuff and we're going to turn that into a proper mic setup to where you guys are not hearing an echo, that kind of stuff. So here is this Corsair thing. And then someday maybe we'll do, if I can get Jay or one of those guys to kind of do a collab video. I'd love to do, and you guys can hit him up, like, not spam his channel, but go in there and say, Jay, let's do a mining rig with closed loops or something. I think that would be kind of cool. Put a black light on it, make it glow. I think it'll look pretty sweet. But, just maybe one of these days he'll want to do that. Alright, so let's get all these parts out here. I put a few of these on. I think I got most of it. We should be using the stock version of this, which will go onto here, which will then plug into the board. I'm actually going to wipe that off and use proper... I do not use the stock stuff that comes on that. We use, if I can find it, so many people use my stuff. This one, nope. I do have some Arctic Silver around here somewhere. It's Cool Masters. Maybe. It got moved and then never got put back. Found it. Arctic Silver 5. We're going to put that on there. That's what we put on the cooler. And I don't even know if they put some stuff on there. I don't know if that's their stuff. So okay, let's get this thing going. I like getting this mounted first, and then I put that part in there. So there's fans. I was going to use this cool fan in place of the other one. The RGB. So this is the same like this. It's just since we're doing an RGB build here, we're gonna use this fan. Another box that's trying to own me. We will win. Destroyed.
Casey style.
Yeah. No doubt. All right, so we're gonna use this one in place of the stock ones that come with. They're both Corsair. And this actually has a controller connection which allows it to plug into the board. It's a 4-pin and a 3-pin. One should be the controller. I don't know if this board lets me do, yes, RGB header. So right here, I don't know how that looks. It's pretty dark, but right here is an RGB header where you plug that 4-pin in, and what it does is it'll sync this fan's colors with the other colors and whatever the board's doing. So it's a way to synchronize them. Again, this is for the wifey computer, so we wanted to make it look cool. And let's get rid of these things now. And then we will, this
thing has fans on both sides. This I have a fan here, and I have another one, and it kind of pulls it through. So we're going to want we don't want the fan looking out the back. We're going to have it looking in the front. So this one's going to be going like this here, and then we'll re-zip tie those appropriately. I don't like to zip tie things by themselves. I want to get everything kind of tied up, and then we can bind wires together and all that kind of stuff for cable management. But like this, and we'll have the other fan on the back. Since it's on the back of the case, I'm not worried about putting the RGB on the back side. I want it on the front side. So is this gonna go? Yeah, it'll go right there. Oh, it's gonna block the. Oh, what are we doing? So we're not gonna put that there because I do not want it to block the memory, because the memory is RGB. So we're gonna put it right above it, probably over here. So yeah, I could have totally did the bigger one because I was trying not to do the one across the top. But if I'm gonna put that here, I should have just got the bigger one and did the double fans. Upgrade. All right, so let's put this on. Now that we've figured that out, let's think of how this is gonna go. I want the wires being cooled by those other fans. So, all right, that's loops. So now we're gonna use these guys. Processor, Corsair. Reconsult to make sure that I think I put I got all that. Yeah, the washer's on the front. So like so. Washer on the screw. And then this screw straight down. And then let's screw this one down. Hey, somebody go out on Barnacle-Lee's live stream and say that we're doing a live stream also, and if his ends before mine, have him send everybody over to me. What? If one of you guys are Barnacle-Lee's people, if they're bored and want somebody just to listen to on a Sunday, or shit, it's not Sunday, it's Saturday. My mind's already on Sunday. Slowest PC build ever. We got a fun-filled afternoon. There's no live stream tonight. We are doing family stuff out on a little family clubhouse that's out on a river. We're gonna light some fireworks.
Fry some fish.
They could be maybe illegal fireworks. No, they're not legal fireworks.
No.
We fire all legal fireworks that you can in the state of Illinois, as I
Missouri.
like to call the People's Republic of Illinois.
They're legal in Missouri, not in Illinois.
Yeah. Well, so we're buying legal fireworks from Missouri, and we're not going to fire them off because this is on YouTube, and we'll just look at them. No, Illinois really needs to get its laws in straight and allow some kind of setup here. So let's see here. So we're not going to mount the other. We got to put the other fan there, and then we're going to come through the top for that side because it's got to. The screws have to go through and capture the fan to hold it in place. So we're going to do that real quick.
Not that kind of family stuff.
What's up?
They're like family stuff. Wink, wink.
Yeah. Nope. Oh, you know, the motherboard did come with its own little screws. That's what I was looking for the M2 slot earlier. Now that one would not have worked. I needed there was one that came that was a little longer than that one. That's the one I needed because of that, the way it was kind of dipping underneath that piece there. So let's see here.
Oh, no. You are a lottery person. They said, what do you think about what Illinois did to the Powerball and other lotteries? What did they do?
I have no idea.
You might have to look that up.
I get a lottery every once in a while. Oh, look at that. That comes right off. So it's magnetic. Magnetic. No idea what Illinois did. Did they just finally jump out, or did they just say, we will take more than half of your winnings because we're cool and we're from Illinois and we have to support Chicago? We are down in the southern part of Illinois, and we essentially are here nothing more than to pay for Chicago. This thing should have a controller. There it is. Okay. So where do I want that wire to come out of? This way. Well, that kind of tucked in the back.
Jason's asking, it's still legal to sell in Illinois. Some of the fireworks, they don't sell all the fireworks.
Oh yeah, you could sell some, and it's just like over so many, like, if you get the big tube ones, I mean the huge ones that have the like, little...
The reloadable shell.
Yeah, the reloadable shell ones, under a certain class, they're illegal. In Missouri, they don't care. I mean, they practically sell you dynamite.
Not that bad.
Missouri's just like, whatever, dude. Just don't blow yourself up. And if you do, just don't do it on public property. You can do it on private. So, with those 4 screws there.
Are you going to bring the drone this afternoon?
I am going to bring the drone this afternoon.
Get some shots on the river?
I am. Down you go. Down you go. Down you go. Now here's the fun part. Is if I get that lined up there. Just really kind of get this set and then start kind of hoping that it's lined up. Which I don't think it's lined up.
Somebody's rig keeps crashing at DAG files. What does that mean? Maybe not the memory.
Keeps crashing on the DAG file. Is it 2 gigs?
We'll see if he responds.
Oh man, this would be totally awesome if I had other help here.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Miss BBT is still in the sleeping clothes.
You want Chris?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
He can't hear you. You have to go like smack him. He's editing a video right now. He's in the zone.
He needs extra hands.
Can you hold this real quick? None of the other BBT crews here. Everybody can say hey to my younger brother Chris. Alright, we're going to hold it right there. And then make sure you're going to have to come up. You know, I'm not going to do the far one. I'm going to do the close one to me where I can see it. I just need one of them set because then that'll kind of lays the groundwork. Okay. Let me get one more in there. Other side. Yeah. Yeah, once you have the one set, I'm good now. Thanks, you can give me all thumb up. What? What up? You can get that. Chris is over here in a video on this awesome render setup that we set up over there. We just upgraded our render box to 64 gigs of RAM, mainly because of when we're doing a lot of the After Effects stuff. So we started doing some After Effects. If you haven't seen our intro, we updated that. We're gonna make some small adjustments with the intro. I think we can make that better. But started doing a lot of stuff with After Effects again, and we're noticing with the latest Adobe, if you allocate, I mean, it will use everything you give it. So this, we were seeing it bounce off the 32 gigs of RAM that we had in there. We were rendering some of the stuff, so we went and just took it to 64, and it is ridiculous. Yeah, making sure I had that loop the same way. I did. I paused for a second because I thought, how did I have that other fan? But I'm good. Pulls through, blows out. Okay. So that is mounted. That is as far over as these ones will go. So that's as far over as it'll go. So it's still going to block the memory a little. Oh well, part of it. Oh no, it's not. It's going to be memories over here. If I ever put other memory in here, and be a little over it. Whatevs. Alright, so that part's mounted. This part now is just making sure you have these over here selected to the right size. And I believe it's the furthest ones out. Say what? Why is there something blocking that? Oh, you know what? You don't need this, guys. So the back of this, I was kind of freaking out here, because in the back here, I don't know if you can see that on the small camera, but this right here, they're blocked. Like there's all, like it's silicone closing out those. So it's freaking me out. So what's going on here is it looks like they already have this mounted on it. So we're going to verify that. Yes, they already have one. So you guys, if you guys are doing this, one of the new 299X builds, you do not need this backplate. They actually install it for you. So that's nice to know. Mrs BBT is not watching the chat, guys, so I will check to see if anybody has any super chats or anything like that. I will get to them at a midpoint when we start to build this, the OS side. So if you have questions, just continue to answer them. When I'm actually paying attention, I'll let you know to the chat. So I'm not ignoring you guys. Let's get this cleaned off where I can put the Arctic Silver on and get this thing mounted, and we can get this thing fired up. We're just cleaning this off here. Just taking off the factory version of that to make a little bit of room here, and I'll kind of put this way. I don't know how dark that's going to be. Should be okay. You guys can kind of see this. So what I do here, oh, is this on there tight? There we go, I get all over me. So I put just a few little, it's not like you're painting, you don't need a ton on there. So I kind of put that there. I use a baggie with this. Put your junk in that box. No. So you will use this. I like kind of giving it an even spread. With the plastic. And then you can flip that baggie around like that to throw it away. And I had some from the other stuff on me. I was wiping that off, so getting that off. Alright, so now let this back. I don't want the leverage. And we are going to put on, they give us a few of these. I believe it's these fat ones on the end.
And the skinny ones on top. Just validate that. Those do work. So we'll put these all on like said. And again, it gives you two different types. It gives you the two skinny ones and the fat nubby one. We're using that one there. Let's put together. One more here. Bring these wires over here so you guys on wire management don't have to freak out. So don't worry about that. I should have put the fan on the other side though, but that's okay. And then we're going to do one of these guys here. So how do we want? Push this through. Get on the other side. Down you go. Corsair. Line up with all that. This thing just barely fits. Get this back off. That's all the way down, that's all the way down, that's all the way down. Everything's all the way down. We're just going to get these partially on, that way it's not popping back off. Alright. And then we're gonna unscrew these ones down, get a little bit of stuff on this. Wipe it down. Now, I do not go all the way down when I'm putting this on. Again, this is like kind of changing a tire. You want this to kind of be as even as possible when you're applying it. Connecting it. Come through and then kind of give them a one last. I am like notorious for breaking stuff because I mean, you know, if you guys are, you know, you're dudes just, you know, hammer down. Got to be careful with that sometimes on PC components. They don't like to be crushed. Keep that bag. Let's clean up some of this. Clean up some of this. That bag will keep this. I will not be using twisty ties. I'll be using zip ties. I'm gonna throw all that here. And then we will not use this guy anymore. So I'm going to put all the stuff that I'm not using in here, but I'm not confusing it. I think we're pretty much done with these. So we're not using SSD. That. Don't need these. These. Need that. This is that little piece that's for, so the tall piece for the other M2 drive that we're not going to use. Trash. Use these. You know, we are going to use some screws though, but I'm going to put the I'm going to use thumb screws for the
for the power supply. And then we have an extra fan. We are going to start some of this old stuff, guys. I'm going to start giving away in some of these live streams, so you guys can kind of share that out. And the way we're going to do it is there's a couple different like lottery type of things that are, you know, online. So we can just take user list. I'm going to try to create an email filter to where you guys will send something in, and it's kind of like you just, if you're a subscriber, we'll have you guys send in, and we'll start giving some stuff away. There's a lot of extra stuff here. I have a lot of old cards like RX 370s, 4 gig cards, you know, that's still mine. What's up?
Tomorrow, Dragon spacecraft is going to be returned to Earth.
Oh, nice. Live stream for the Dragon spacecraft. Yeah, so if that interests you guys, if you guys want to see get some free shit, I'm not going to take the thunder out of Digital Gold. They were giving away some free cards and stuff, but it actually is a really good idea because I have a lot of extra stuff that I'm not going to sell it. It's kind of older stuff. Some of it's older stuff, some of it's test stuff, but we'll set up a cool way for you guys to take part in that. It is going to be open to worldwide, so if you're one of our worldwide subscribers, we'll have that, and we'll start moving some of this stuff. So, and especially if I can get AMD and some of the other people to send us cards and stuff to test. A lot of that's kind of stuff, if we start getting that stuff, guys, I'll just give it back out to you guys. I don't need to keep it. So if you know, we're trying to deal in stuff with like six cards at a time type of stuff. So if it's, I'm gonna keep that box because it looks cool. This so here, okay, I'm just trying to clean the palette right now to make sure I have everything I need, and then we're gonna get the power supply in, and then we're gonna get this thing booted up. So what's our time check? Okay, so I'm gonna try to wrap this thing up at the 2-hour mark. So we're at 1 hour and 16 minutes, and then we will be done no matter what. So we don't need this. You know what? I'm gonna keep that because I ran into issues before needing that, so that's gonna be up there. All right, so. And then we will need this. I don't have the second card yet, but we will be using this, so we'll have that off to the side too. Okay, so now let's get the power supply opened up. That's junk. It doesn't work anymore. These two things go in that little box here. One of them's for that. I don't want to lose these. Don't let me fool you. I am not very good at keeping track of tools. So, putting on, if either BBTers are watching, they're like, fake, he doesn't do that for real. All right, so we got that there. Let's open up the power supply. Where's the power supply? There it is. Right in front of me. So this is a Supernova 650p2. This machine does not need a lot, and even with two 1080 Ti's, it should not draw all that power. Could have put an 850 in there. Actually, they didn't. I was going to try to buy an 850. They don't make an 850 or a 750 P2. They make an 850 and a 650. They skip by 2s. And then they make a 1000 and a 1200 P2. And a 1600 P2. EVGA does. So I would have got the 850, but they didn't have any. Mainly because if I would ever upgrade this to, like, let's say Vega, and we do have a Vega on the way. When we get the Vega, we will try it out. I started seeing some reviewers start to test them, and right now I don't think they're very good. Is that true? You guys can say in the chat. I don't know if anybody's tried it for mining yet. We have not. When we get ours, hopefully this week, we will do a review on it. I mean, the night we get that, we're going to do a review on it. So even if we don't have a live stream planned, I will make sure we do a live stream with it. Now that I'm going to bring this higher because this is kind of low. Whoa, look out! I need to get some other lights too.
Alright, so EVGA 650p2. I'm pulling all the cables out. We'll put back what we don't need. They do make a 750p2. I have never seen a 750p2. They don't carry them at Micro Center. They say they make a 750p2. I do not. I have never used one. EVGA Supernova. Anybody that's mining understands and knows what this is. Platinum. Put these back in. Close this up for now because we have another little pouch. Put the extra cables in. Get that out of our life. Close. Alright. And then this guy. Now I do things a little differently than people. I've seen people build power things. I actually plug everything into the board and send the wires through, then I put this in. So because I have them, then I'll have them kind of out there and ready. Versus trying to put these in and then try to route the cable. I mean, people do it differently. I just found this to be a little easier for me for some reason. So I actually just go and I do all this first. Because I don't want this attached to anything when I'm playing around with it. Oh my God! Oh, this is going to be a pain. So this I was not anticipating is this board has the 24 pin way over. Rip headphone users. I'm gonna have to get this kind of down like this. Oh my Jesus.
Say thanks to Guntis. He called you a legend.
Guntis? Is that Vol? Guntis Vol?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy. You got some crazy builds too, bro. I follow you. Get this thing in there. That was okay. So for people who want to know, you can learn from my mistake here. This board and where they got the 24 pin, usually the 24 pin's down like here somewhere. They got it up here, up by the corner. So if you're using something like this, I don't know how, is that dark? Can you switch to the bigger camera view? You swap it?
I did.
Okay, sweet. So, right, where's, you know what, this thing has got a light on it. So, well, I'm all over the place. So, I don't know if that helped with the lighting. But you can see, like, you have to turn that. So, like, if you're going to put something up there at the top, you can switch camera now. If you're going to put something there at the top, you gotta account for that. I did not account for that. I was able to still get it, but that would have sucked having to pull that back off. So we're going to send this guy through here in the back, which, oh my goodness. So they have another thing I have to do here. Get this over here on this side. Huh? Knocking stuff over. So this here, it looks like it has plates that come off. And then it already has a built-in wire. Oh, that needs a head. There it is. This here needs to come off. And right there. Look at that. It's got like a wire compartment already. And then this thing right here is a controller for the RGB. And then here's your RGB lighting control right here. Speed, clock, mode.
Lower.
Oh, sorry. All this, this is the controller for the lighting and stuff. So you could, looks like you have some extra room here. I have 3 other spots that I can plug in the 3-pin versions of it. Or is this the 4-pin? Let's take one of these out. Let's validate this. Trust but verify. 4-pin. So if you have other RGB lighting and you get this case, this comes with it. I did not put this on here. So, one up for Corsair for putting that there. Again, we have the link to this case, I believe, in the description.
Yep.
So, you guys can see which one they make this in, I think, a white and a black. But, This is if you have SSDs, a good spot for here, and then your hard drives, your normal larger 3.5 inch hard drive. So it looks like they already got a lot of stuff routed here. So we got to watch when we push this thing through. We'll come in right here. I'm going to go slow and make sure we don't unconnect anything else. We're going to pull. Oh, you know what? I'm coming to the wrong one. Back through. Reverse. We're going to go to this one because I want it closer to the. Oh, is there one underneath there? Oh, there is. Corsair, getting it done. Getting it done. Proper wire. Look, oh, let's not pull that thing off. Here, you just, there, you can expand it. And then tilt it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to see what that looks like coming through there. Alright, so that's nice and good and tight. Alright, so VGA, CPU. This is the one we're looking for because this is CPU. Is this a dual? This requires a 4-pin and an 8-pin. We'll come back over here and we'll look. I mean, you're not going to be. So you got 4-pin, 8-pin. So this is going to need both for power. I'll leave this here. So we're going to use both of the CPU plugs that come with this 650 here. We'll go ahead and do the 4-pin first. And should be able to get this angled enough. And I might have to send it the other way. Sometimes if you can't get it in and around, there we go. We're going to pull that through. Pull that through. Pull that through. We're going to stick this guy back here. Pull that through. And then here we go. That's nice and there. We're going to look for the other CPU board. Oh, that provide too. They don't on this, but they do provide. That is a weird connector. Let me see here, guys. This 650 does not have two CPUs. It does have, so they kind of mislead you a little bit on this one. We've never had to use this 2 CPU connections on a 650 before, so this is kind of discovery for me too. But they give you this little CPU dongle that has the single 8-pin that plugs into 2 here. But the problem is this is a 4-pin, and you can't split these. So I'm gonna look at the back of the thing here. 1 CPU, no crap. Well, that's gonna change which power supply's in here, folks. We are going to not use a 650p2, which is fine. We can use that on another build, but luckily this is BBT, and we have various power supplies. This thing just got upgraded live on the live stream to a HX 1000i. My sad
650 was a platinum.
The 650 is a platinum. This one's a platinum. Oh, this one's platinum, I believe. Yeah, platinum. This is also a platinum. No, so the problem with the 650 is this board, it requires a 4-pin. If it had 2 8-pins, we would be okay with the 650 because the 650 is giving us a converter that allows us to do both. 2 8-pins, but this is a 4-pin and a 8-pin. And this is the kind of stuff when you're like your system building, because I look to make sure that, oh, okay, it comes with 2 8-pins, great, you know, it says it on the box. What they did not disclose is the fact that it's through a converter and you can't split the actual, you can't split it. So I probably have other cables that we could probably get to try to work, but at this point, it's probably easier for me just to swap the power supply. It puts a bigger one in here anyways, which I kind of wanted to do. And I have a build that actually this will go to. So we're going to put all these cables real quick so I don't mix them up. Back in here, in this little pack. We'll use this 650. We have some 570s, like a little 4-card 570 rig I'm going to do. I could only get 4 of them, so I'm going to put together a 574 card rig. It's like a cheaper rig for people. We'll put it up for cost on eBay, guys. So whatever I put into it, and I got those cards for like, I think $269 for 570s. And if you guys have been following anything on the internets, that's a pretty good deal for 570s. What we'll do is we'll put that build together, and then we'll put all the cost out there for you guys, in front of you guys, and then we'll list that on eBay, and we'll let you guys just kind of go for it. We'll put it again for cost. So we'll use that 650P2 for that, because that 650P2 will handle that no problem. And then we are going to open up. So this is another unboxing by BBT. And this is going to the side. And now we're getting into an H100i. So, you know, this is almost it. You know what this was? This was the Corsair case, and the Corsair, you know, the cooler and all this, everything's Corsair, and it's like you're putting an EVGA power supply in me? No. I'm going to make sure it doesn't work. Now we're having to go with a Corsair power supply. So this will get tweeted to Corsair of like, here's your Corsair build, using everything I practically could from Corsair, including one of their RGB fans. And let me get this. Sorry for this shaky camera here. It's not super stable. It's, yeah, it's connected right there. So, a little there. They actually put all their cables in the bags. More wire ties. And smells like went swimming. What's that new plastic smell? Like if you open up like some plastic stuff. So this is confusing because the old HXs used to be like silver power supplies. So I don't know what Corsair was thinking when they did that. Because I have an HX 1050 Corsair in one of our gaming computers, and that's a silver. It's not a platinum. So, you know, they could have just stuck with the AX series. Everybody knows what that is, which is platinum. But I think HX maybe got kind of a bad name because some of them started going out on people. This is a little bigger power supply. USB, Corsair link part of it. This is kind of the back to that, if people wanted to know. So there's all the 6 pins, where a couple of these will be used.
Does the HX power supply come with Corsair's link to monitor power?
Yes, right here, Corsair link. You should be able to see it right here. Oh, they're not, no, well, the mini camera sees that, right?
Yes.
So it does have that. Test the fan. So now let's go ahead and get exactly back where we were at. I get to fight the 24 pin again. I take all these out because I want to see which ones I want, and then I'll put them all back in the bag. More twisties. Let's feed this guy through here. Now that we know where we're going. So this video is just going to be the build of this PC, guys. The actual OS install and all that stuff we'll do separately, because with our time schedule today, I really had time just to build this. and then we'll do a separate video with installing Windows, and we'll do some benchmarks. I mean, you guys, let me know if you guys want to see that. I mean, if you guys don't want to see that and you're like, dude, just stick to mining, let me know. But if we were to benchmark this, I'll give you kind of what we would do. We'd put, hopefully I'd have the second TI in there, so I'd have two 1080 Ti's in this, and then we would try Monero and some of the CPU coins with this, with the new x7800X. If that interests you guys in any capacity, let us know. Am I?
I was gonna ask you to turn around first.
Sorry. True story, this has happened a few times, actually.
Oh my God.
And I was actually, I'll give you guys a story about that real quick. While you guys are seeing if you want, I was actually, in my normal day job a few years back, I ran a very large project team. And I am giving, we would do like monthly, like scrum, think of it like a big stand-up scrum session. So I'm for like development. And I'm sitting there in front of like 90 people. I'm giving a big speech about, you know, making sure we're going to do good with our project and all this. The whole time, barn door all the way down. The whole meeting. And I'm in front of all these people. And nobody said anything. Nobody even cracked a smile. And I get through the whole thing, and then somebody comes up at the end and goes, dude, your barn door has been down the whole time. This whole meeting. Like, so bad that my shirt was actually coming out of the, you know, I had it tucked down and it was coming out. Super embarrassing. But, yeah. That's that little story.
They said yes. They would like to see you benchmark that live.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to build this tonight, because today, but we're literally leaving here right after I get this thing built for some family stuff, and then I will not do anything unless it's in front of you guys out there. We'll build it from scratch. So you'll get to see how fast Windows builds on an NVMe drive like that. Okay, so let's set the CPU.
They said it happened to Jay's 2 cents a couple live streams ago.
Oh, really? Jay has barn door down too? Yeah, that was super, super, super embarrassing. And I can't believe they let me actually, I mean, like I'm like, nobody even cracked a smile. And mind you, this just isn't dudes in this. Like, this is like business women. This is like professional, you know, people. That's like, God, how embarrassing. And then it was kind of the joke after it. Like, you know, we had like an after thing. And it was like, yeah, totally, yeah, you just kept going, man. We just didn't know when to stop and stop you and be like, hey, your barn door's down. Part of the problem sometimes with public speaking. All right, so there's the one CPU. Did I have the other CPU yet? No. Not going to use that one. I'm going to use one of those. Not going to use that. Going to use that. Type 3, PCIe. Going to run one more of those just for the other card. Not going to use this. Type 3. PCIe. Not going to use that other one, because we're only putting a couple in here. CPU. Here's the other one. That's the other CPU I was looking for. Corsair's been notorious for not having all the cables. So, usually in their refurb ones, but this one was a brand new one. And then these things split. So if it looks like, oh, I only got 2 8s, now you can split those on one end. So we're going to now run this one over. Anybody get a kick out of that?
Yes.
That was so embarrassing. God.
Public speaking while your fly's open is public speaking.
Yeah. Public speaking. We're going to come this way with this. Okay, so the Corsair is freaking huge on their connectors. It's not one to go. Let's try this one up here. Come on, baby. You can do it. There we go. Got her through. Just needs a little work. Not even flat on that one. Just giving them to me. All right. Put this over here. This is the other CPU. That side. This side's going to go through. If there's is there any super chats? I want to make sure I don't want to keep those people here if they're asking a question.
No.
You sure?
thought I saw one
You've
earlier.
talked to everything.
I've talked to all the super chats. Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, I don't want somebody having to sit there if they super chat it and.
It was the iFixit kit earlier and Guntus.
Okay, perfect. Come on. This thing is so thick. It's so big. It's so big. Let's try it this way. Okay, do the other one. They give it just enough room for the EVGA works perfectly through here. Like it's thin enough, but the Corsair is super thick. Don't want to break the case. There we go. So the Corsair, if you guys are doing this, you guys are gonna have to work it, but it does fit. All right, so those two are through. Okay, so I got the CPU, I got the ATX 24-pin cable. Should have had that there. There we go. So that's done, and then we're gonna go ahead and run one of the. Oh, we don't need that. We don't need a SATA cable. Let's go ahead and start plugging this stuff in. Well, no, I kind of do the power supply last, so I make sure everything's in, and then we'll plug everything into the power supply. That way it's done at one time. Got lots of boxes here. Let's get into this. You know what I need to get to? We should note this. I want to get like a little light that can, like one of those LED lights. So when I'm doing stuff like this, they can actually see from this camera.
It's not horrible.
I'm so horrible. Alright, so this is a mess. Alright, let's see here. These cables, these are all power and ground. Okay, so there is a little, this little guy. You know, they have a finger, I don't need to use my teeth. So this little guy allows you to kind of organize these. And then you can plug this directly down on the board. And it's always label out, if nobody's ever built a PC here. Label out. So this power switch, you just look for the power switch little thing right here. And you come over, power LED, ground, power LED, ground, reset, hard drive, power LED, power ground right here. Right there. That's fan, controller, fan, lots of fans, another fan. Man, I'm gonna have to have another fan. Are these all fans? What the hell's going on here? Audio piece, which this one will plug in. This will have to go across the top here because they do not have enough room down here for the thing, so we'll just go ahead and run that. Usually these cases have enough room underneath here for the board to allow you to bring these things to the back. For some reason this doesn't. That one plugs in right here. The audio's away over here on the back. It only goes in one way. So I'm going to pull this straight and back and through. Eventually when we go get the rest of the clean. There's another fan controller. There must be a little controller somewhere the fan, or half these fans are not going to turn on. Oh, that's probably these powers here. What else are we missing? We're missing all kinds of stuff here. Where is the other connectors? Power LED. Got that. They split, if people wonder the power LED here, they split these because sometimes they'll have these things where, like here, where it's like, it's split, so they don't know if it's together or if it's split like this, so they have to separate them.
Too close to that little camera, it can't focus.
Oh, we can't focus. How about now?
Better.
And this thing actually gives you to where you could do either or, have the split or the non-split. We're going to split it. So that's those two. We're missing the reset. Where that's at. These are all fans and controllers. Fans. Power. More power. Where is the reset? don't see the reset.
Nice close up of your hand.
Sorry. You're not in full screen on that, right?
Yeah, I am.
Oh. So do not see the hard drive light cable. Well, here, let's get these out of the way, and then we'll worry about the other thing because I cannot find a few things here. So this is a fan power. That's power, fan power. This guy here, we want to have controlling the two that come out of here and on here. I had the cables on the opposite sides. That was a fail by me. And we gotta plug in. Oh, that's a 3-pin. This is a 3-pin. The other one's a 4-pin for this controller. It's okay. They either want to work. So for the folks wanting to know what's going on here, I'm plugging in essentially, move the cable here. I'm plugging in the Corsair water cooler, and it has a controller, essentially comes out of it, and then it's made to control these fans that go into the water cooler. So we're plugging in, we have that, which we have, and then we need this one plugged in here. So the controller controls the two fans that are on the water cooler. That's off to the side. And then this actual controller actually has one that it actually uses the CPU. So you need to come up here with this one, which is the 3-pin, and you plug it into the CPU fan. It's the white one up here in at the top, where it's the CPU fan, and then this is a CPU optional fan. So you have two that kind of control that. We're plugging in the white one over here, which will give that a control. And then this one is the RGB controller. There's two things that are coming off this guy right here, which that's the RGB fan that we got in there, and then that's going to go up here, this header up here, right there, back in the back. So I was just trying to make sure I had all of that arranged to let you guys understand it. And this thing is going to go, since this does not have the clip, and this has a clip right here, what you guys want to know is that it's going to be where the clip is up to the top, because you can see how all the rest of these have like where they would have the little clip thing that would connect to. All of those things are just clipped to the top. So when you go on to here, make sure it's all the way on all four, and we'll push that in there. It just doesn't snap down on something just because they just didn't include the clip for there. So these kind of things, once I have all the wires kind of where they're at, then I'll zip tie them all down and all that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at, that's all of this stuff. And for right now, I'm just gonna, just to keep them out of the way, this is, don't worry, this is not me just wadding up everything and I'm just gonna keep it this way. I'm not. We're just gonna kind of use a twisty for right now and just get these out of the way. I don't want them in the way when I'm getting the rest of the stuff plugged in. We'll just lay that up there. This guy here plugs in. We're gonna back this out a little. Let's see if you guys can see that. Is it camera high enough?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy plugs in right here, and we're gonna back this out because there's a lot of extra cable here.
Great shot of your arm.
Sorry, I can't help that. So that's a very taut cable, so I'm gonna make sure it's just like that. And we'll make sure those are streamlined out of there. This cable also is the HD audio that comes with it. We're gonna tighten that all the way back out. We're gonna try to tuck that underneath all this. Under. There we go. So that kind of makes that nice and flat and straight. And these three we'll do something with here in a minute. So first one, this is power. We're not actually going to have the power we're going to send the power back through, so that this one here, I'm going to bring back through here. I do not want the power on this side to power these things. So I'm going to pull this SATA piece out this way. I'm going to pull the other one. Where's that? So that's, I need that part. There's one more of them, this guy here, which is for, where's that going? This powers this, I don't know if you guys can see this, this Corsair thing lights up. So that's the power for it. I'm actually going to kind of push to the back over here and just come out the back. All the cabling right here is going to come out the back of this thing for this. So I don't need or want any of that. Let's see here. This goes there. And then these ones are case fan stuff. So this other one here. So these should be the 3. These cables are the 3 for these 3 fans here. So these are case fans. We'll plug these throughout the case fan connections throughout the whole thing. So this has 2 of them down here.
You're gonna get this done in 8 minutes?
We're really close. I'll put the power supply in probably 15 minutes. We're in the last leg of this. So there's one more RGB header down here. So if you guys need another RGB header, there should be one more case fan controller M2 fan. Another head fan right there. So there is 3 right next to each other, so that's convenient. And what we're not going to do is I'm not going to tie all that in front of everybody. Now I'm just going to get these all the rest of the way there, and then we can get this thing turned on, just to make sure it boots up, and then we're done. And then this is for the Corsair link. So we're going to do that real quick here. So this just plugs in the side of that CPU right down here. And this just monitors temps and other things with the water cooler. Let's see here, it goes in one way and it is this way. There we go. So that goes that way. You know, Corsair, if you're going to do this, you really should put it the other way. It's kind of annoying. And then this plugs into a USB. Going to be down here, right there. So we're going to kind of do this kind of weird loop thing right here around this, down, around, down, around, push, and there we go. Right now, and then we'll do some stuff with the excess wire here. Let's kind of get that tucked around the 90. And then, all right, so we got all that done. We need to plug this guy in. A couple of these, I'm going to send a couple of these PCIe's through real quick for the graphics card, and then we're going to plug the power supply. I still haven't found the hard drive light indicator in the it's got to be tucked away somewhere in here. There are no extra wires anywhere, so maybe it gets it through something else. All I really care about is the power switch right now, though. We'll have to come back and I'll have to look and trace out from the controller on the side here the wires to find out, but I'm going to put this in right now. Let's see here. Hard drive, that should go this way because power around's always on the top. Let's get this back some. This whole thing plugs in like a Lego right there. And then let's get this ran because the graphics card will be right here. So we're going to come through this middle part right here. For the graphics card power, and then I'll come down, and that is it for right now. We will not run the other one yet until I get the other card. So we're going to throw it off to the side. Throwing stuff. All right, and now let's get this. What's up? All right, over here, as we plug power supply. Fans down towards the bottom. Over. Alright. 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 Somebody name where that came from. Alright. Let's get this. Boxes of thumb screws.
Are those words supposed to be upside
Huh?
down?
Yes. On that side, yes. Because you want the fan down. You want it to pull air from down here. And then on the back side, it's right side up. So, because on the other side, this logo is right side up. Because usually that's the side you're looking out of. But they give you an option for if you have to use a modified case. So they put one on one side upside down, they put the other one on the right side up. And then if you ever have to do a weird mounting, it doesn't matter. You have both on both sides. Or you could use either one from each side.
They're asking for our eBay username. Is that something you want public?
Well, yeah. It has our logo on it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know
It's
that.
EQ Merc.
I need that.
I have like one of the oldest eBay accounts on eBay, guys. My eBay account is from 1999 in September. And then do a Google search on when eBay existed. Yes, like the first week I had when eBay came out, I made a eBay account. So I have like a very old, outstanding eBay account. So EQ Merc. I don't think there's anything up there right now. Let's go here. In cable plugged in. I did not screw that in until I get this stuff kind of plugged in. That way I can do them all at the same time. Power, this is CPU. On this power supply, both CPU and PCIe slots are the same. I'm going to put these power here and set here. And then this is for the PCIe. I'll put it here. And then we're going to use two SATAs. Or no, we're going to use one SATA rather, sorry. Connector. Because we need to plug in these other SATA power. We do not need SATA for hard drive because we have this, the NVMe drive. Alright, plug this in. We're almost there, guys. We got to plug this in. I'm going to screw this down. And then I'm going to put the graphics card in there, and then we're going to fire it up. I'm going to even leave the sides off because I still got some wire stuff to do. I'm not going to go through putting the sides on and all that. And then what we'll do is tomorrow maybe we can finish this build. I got to look at the schedule and see if we can get it in there. But I assume right now, are we good tomorrow? What are we doing tomorrow? We're going to go to Six Flags. So I might catch me in Six Flags in the evening. So I might do another morning live stream for this build to finish it. And then the evening time, no live stream because we're going to be going to Six Flags and watch some fireworks in the St. Louis area. So if you're coming out to Six Flags, you may see us. We'll get this Just adding thumb screws to hold the power supply in the back. Need everything. Play. They give you regular screws. I like thumb screws for this kind of stuff. You can buy a pack of these really cheap. We'll get that linked out there. They're in our store?
Yeah.
Yeah, bitsbetrippin.com. We have these in our store. We're revamping that store, so Amazon's getting rid of those stores anyways. We're kind of using their base template just to throw some stuff on there quickly. We're putting a new store together with, and it sounds like you guys really want some local U.S. riser selection. So, I mean, we order risers by the bulk. You know, we have the same problem with risers as you guys do. What I'm trying to do is get the price down to such a point that, you know, if I don't want to sell in packs of 6, I'd like to sell in packs of 10, but keep them as close as I can to like the 6-pack prices if possible. So then you guys have extra risers if stuff goes out. Because part of the whole thing is the return policy stuff. I don't want to have to deal with that as much as you guys don't want to have to deal with that. So the best way I know how to do that is to give you more than you need. And then if one are bad, it's what it is. And then if I can keep the price to that's respectable, you know, to where you guys are, you know, around that $70, probably $65 mark, $70 mark if I'm paying for shipping somewhere, but you'll get 10 risers. So if you do the math on that, I think that's a pretty good deal. So tell me what you guys think about that. On 10 risers, about, you know, it makes them like $7.50 a piece, and you get 10 packs. That's the way we do them. We'd sell them in 10 packs. That way, if you're building an 8 card rig, you still have 2 extras. Let me know the response on that, if that makes sense, and then we can see if we can put something like that together. All right, so that's pretty much that. I'm gonna put the graphics card in there. We're gonna fire it up. If it lights up, we're good, and then we're gonna wrap this video up, and then we will finish this build. If we can on tomorrow morning's live stream, we'll put Monero and some of the CPU coins on this. See how the 7800X works. Get rid of that. Let's make sure this is going to go here. It should be the 2 top slots, which it is. Sometimes you miss that top slot, depending where the board sits.
Would you be willing to ship worldwide if you were doing the risers?
I would, but you guys would have to pay actual shipping. We'd have to figure out the shipping. I mean, I'm setting up a DHL account right now, like an actual like company-based DHL account. I will absolutely take care of my worldwide brethren out there. I do not discriminate with you guys. We will ship it everywhere we can. So. It's going to be kind of hard probably to hit that $70 price point for. I mean, it just depends on the shipping, guys. I mean, like I'm covering shipping for the U.S. You know, we're not Amazon, right? So I don't have like some huge discount with shipping. So we're going to be eating some on shipping, but you know, I'm not going to. This isn't like a huge. That's not like a massive. Yep. See, that's what I'm talking about. You need to come down one more. So this is one of those boards, so I need to do the box, so bottom 2 here. You know, but I mean, we're not going to make that's not a huge money-making venture or something like to sell risers. I mean, the risers need to be cheap. They have a high fill rate, so I mean, it's one of those things of more facilitating a service and keeping it to where we're still not, you know, where we're at least breaking close to even with a little bit of profit for the effort, right? But I don't want to, you know, I'm not trying to gouge you guys. You guys can go out to Alibaba and see the prices yourself if we're buying in volume. So a lot of price transparency there. But you know, it's got to be fair. Pricing, people can make money, but you got to do it fair. Right, so that's that. GTX 1080 Ti. We'll get that second one in there. That'll fit pretty good. See that that build coming together so far. All right, let's light this thing up, see what it looks like, and then we can wrap this video up. Let's get this here.
No, it looked too much.
A little too much.
Almost got me.
Almost got you. Yeah, let me know if you guys want to see BBT, Miss BBT on the next video. Let her, if you want her back, she can answer questions in front of you guys versus setting off to the side. All right, let's get this thing plugged in. Where is my extra plug? Oh, it fell off. Let's get this. The plug. That's kind of cool. Snaps in. Sparking flares. Ooh, it's lit up. It's using 1.9 watts. 1.9 watts. That's kind of a cool. It works. It's alive.
So far.
This one's not lighting up though. The controller. Did it just turn off? Oh no, it's doing its basic boot and start sequence. Video. Memory's blinking. There we go. So it turned off and on a few times. That was because it was looking for stuff. And there we go. We can switch to the yeah. These lights are blinking and going nuts. It's alive. Thing's like going nuts. That memory's cool.
I need to turn off the lights.
Turn off the
really see.
Huh? Oh,
Can't
you're
see.
gonna turn off these lights? Yeah, turn off the other one. And switch back to the main screen.
Whoa, I almost did.
Yeah, we'll see. That thing is like Vegas at night. So that G.Skill memory, RGB, GeForce GTX, Corsair lights on. It's got the Aura on the board, and then this is like a disco party, man. This is like legit. I like it. All right, so we'll get into this build, guys. I just wanted to make sure it fired up. I thank you guys for hanging out with me and checking things out. Again, we have most of the links down here. This thing should kick butt. We'll let's turn off the lights. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll do the stream tomorrow and we'll get this thing built. So I'm gonna shut it down because we're gonna take off here, so you guys won't miss anything. We'll do it together. Yeah, you just shut it, kill it.
Oh.
Yeah. Get the part here.